morning. Oh, I don't know how to start these videos. I don't know what to say in these videos because it's information that I'm not actually talking about on the internet yet, but I need to document it so that when I am talking about it, I can have footage, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping by now that I have uploaded like a reveal video that I am in fact pregnant, which is only the second time I've said that sentence because it's still so strange. But yeah, by now I hope I've uploaded a video letting you guys know that I am actually pregnant, and then also a kind of my journey so far, like first trimester, even a Q&A type catch up, how the first kind of 12 to 14 weeks were. But I'm currently 15 weeks. I was 15 weeks yesterday, and I just thought, right, now is the time to start actually doing like vloggy stuff. So I kind of want to talk about like where I'm at like right now, and then I want this to kind of turn into the start of the weekly vlogs. Because I'm aiming to announce the end of February, which would give me I would maybe be around 18 weeks. So I'm still looking at like another 3 weeks or so. I might even do 2 weeks. I can't decide. The problem is I do not want my whole YouTube channel or Instagram and social media to all of a sudden just be about pregnancy. Because that's not my entire life. It's a section of my life that I of course want to document and want to share. But at the same time, not a lot of people care about that kind of stuff, and you follow me for health and fitness, so obviously the health and fitness and the lifestyle content is going to stay the same, with obviously adaptations for, you know, what I'm eating in a day, high protein, going to the gym, blah 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 blah, but also pregnant, you know, because I feel like that information, I don't plan on being pregnant numerous times in my life. Once or twice is where I'm going, so I feel like this is my only small window of opportunity to like share my experiences with it for other people who end up perhaps going through the same thing. Going through the same thing? Does that sound negative? Going through? For anyone else that becomes pregnant and is maybe like nervous about body changes, nervous about like lifestyle changes, fitness, food, all that kind of stuff. So I think this will be the start, because we actually have a scan next week, and that's why I wanted to start vlogging this week, because I want to be able to vlog that one next week. By now I would have told you, like, we had an 8-week scan, like a reassurance scan, and then we had our like general NHS 12-week scan, which actually ended up being 13 weeks, just the way our maths kind of fell. And then you don't get other scans. We really don't do a lot of scans in the UK. My next one is actually not until, it's supposed to be your 20-week scan, but we're getting it around 19 weeks. It's the whole gender, also like growth and well-being scan, which is your last scan. You get your last scan at 20 weeks. For me it'll be like 19 and a half because we're going on holiday. And then they said it was too late to do it after holiday. So anyway, the 16-week scan that we are going to next week is the gender scan that we booked ourselves. So you have to do these ones privately. So in the, don't know if it's even in the UK or if it's just in Scotland, but even the hospital we're going to, like she even said to us, we didn't even ask this question, but she said to us at the 12-week scan, she's like, you do know if you want to find out the gender, we can't write it down for you on a piece of paper for you to take away. We can only tell you there and then verbally. Something to do with like, obviously it can be wrong, and you know, you can't go and like sue the NHS or anything like that. So we decided to just like book it privately. So we are going to find out the gender next week, which I do want to find. I think Adam was kind of like, I will find out, not find out, like I don't really know. Then I was like, no, I want to find out, because I feel like I'm going to end up creating an image in my head of who this person is in my stomach. It might be different for him because he doesn't have the physical feelings like that I have in my body. I just thought I'm going to end up creating this image in my head of what I think this person is, and then you give birth and they could be the complete opposite, and that sounds ridiculous, I know, but I just thought, I don't know, I just want to know. But we have decided that we're going to keep it just between him and I. There's so many things with pregnancy that I just feel like all of a sudden everybody knows it and it's everybody's business. Obviously it's not, but we want some things to be just us, like just him and I. Like, we want to do the room ourselves, like no input there. Obviously name picking, not telling anybody no names, not telling anybody the gender. I just feel like as soon as you tell people the gender, they pick stuff, like presents wise, which is obviously a really nice thing, but you know, they'll just start buying all pink stuff or all blue stuff or something like that. And also the name suggestions will come flying in hot, and we just, you know, we're like, no, we're not telling anybody anything, we're going to find out. And then we have a strict rule of referring to them as them. Baby, it, I don't know, whatever word choice that is not gender specific. So that is the plan as of next week. But I wanted to start on this week because this is the first time I feel like I've had subtle body changes. It's probably around about this point. And this is so funny because I was like, when do you start to get a belly? Or like, I don't know, like I can still pull off taking ab pictures, not lower ab pictures, but the upper half, there's a good 4-pack clinging on for dear life. Like for absolute dear life. You know, so social media wise, it's not like faking it, because I do still look like that, but it's more of an effort to look like that, if that makes sense. So I'm still pulling off the whole persona of not being pregnant right now, I hope so, on social media. So yes, I always thought, oh my god, being pregnant would be the scariest thing ever, especially, maybe not especially, but I think when your job and your like whole hobbies and passions and everything revolves around like health and fitness, and you've looked a certain way for so long. Like I feel like I've looked my best for the past like couple of years, and I'm always wanting to progress, and you put so much kind of effort and emphasis on how you look and how you feel, and feeling your like healthiest and your best. And then I had this like, oh my god, I kept saying to Adam, I was like, look, I might have an identity crisis. You just do not know what to expect, especially if you've never been pregnant before. You just do not know what's going to happen to your body, and you just have no idea what you're going to look like, what you're going to feel like, and you see all these things online of people being like, I feel like an alien in my own body, or like they just don't feel like themselves and all this kind of stuff. And obviously it gives me the fear, right? It gave me the absolute fear, which I'm going to say things very honestly on this journey, okay, which some things might be controversial or some people might not agree, but I'm just going to say what probably a lot of people are thinking. Obviously, I am well aware when you're pregnant, your focus shifts from you to the baby, or even collectively, what works collectively for both. But see, now that I'm on week 15, and I don't look that different, I'm like, where is it? Where is my bump? Where is my belly? I am dying to have the opportunity to breathe out for the first time in like 5 years. I'm sick of flexing, I'm sick of tensing. I want to just relax and just have a belly. You know, we're going to the Philippines in March, the end of March, and I was like, look, my bikini pictures are going to be so easy, because normally my bikini pictures, I'm trying to be like, right, are my abs tense, like are my glutes tense, are my legs tense, like you're trying to, you know, like put all your hard work of the year in the gym into your 1 year of like bikini photos. This year I'm going to be like, just take a pic, just take a pic, and it doesn't matter what's hanging out where, apart from the vagina, make sure that's in, but everything else I don't care, because I'm pregnant. So it's funny how that shifted for me. And I'm saying that now at 15 weeks with no bump, waiting on the bump. Come back to me at like 40 weeks where I'm like, cut it out of me. I don't care what you have to do. But yeah, so this is already a 10-minute kind of blab. But this is the kind of start of the weekly vlogs. So you'll only be a couple of weeks behind like my life. You'll only maybe be, it's only going to be like 3 weeks of a difference. But it's exciting. Honestly, wherever this vlog picks up, it picks up. I think I'll just be vlogging like random bits and bobs on different days until next week, until we do this whole gender scan. I'm convinced it's a girl. I'm not convinced it's a girl, actually. That's not true. I'm not convinced. I've always just thought of myself having a child that it would be a girl. But I think I'm just becoming more open because I don't really mind what it is. I don't mind what the gender of the baby is, whether it's a boy or a girl, whereas Adam is convinced it's a boy. He's convinced it's a boy because he's like, oh my god, imagine having teenage daughters and like boys and drama and all this kind of stuff. He's like, no, like she'll be locked up until she's like 25. That's where he's coming from. So we're going to make a bet. He's going to bet that it's a boy. I'm going to bet that it's a girl. And honestly, we will find out. And it's a shame because you're not going to know who won the bet until July. So that's that. But yes, I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's a very, very long blab of like 16 minutes now. Oh, magpie. And yeah, welcome to the weekly vlogs of my life being pregnant. Good morning. It is now Wednesday. I am so well. It is Wednesday the 8th of February. I'm actually sitting here having my breakfast, and this is the breakfast I've been having like every day. But I was watching Megan Grubb's pregnancy vlog, like her journey so far, and it just reminded me of a few things. Oh no, what's happened to this? A few things that I feel I have experienced and just not spoke about yet. So I'm just going to do this. It's early morning, right? It's early morning. This is what we're dealing with. Yeah, and she was talking about skincare, and then she was talking about bloating, and that was two things. I thought of something else there and I've forgotten what it was. But I realised quite early on, actually I think it was even before, I'm always into skincare, right? So I'm always looking up skincare videos, and I came across one, I think before I was even like found out that I was pregnant, that was talking about skincare and how there's certain products you can't use. The side effect for me is losing my breath. Like I just feel so out of breath. All I'm doing is sitting and eating my breakfast. My breakfast, by the way, is nearly finished, but it's Alpro vanilla yogurt with protein granola and then strawberries and blueberries. It's my addiction right now. Over oats. Like oats, I'm eating oats, but it's just not given what this is given. But what were we talking about? Skincare. So one thing I found with skincare, I haven't changed much of my skincare other than you can't use retinol. And I was watching videos on why, and I was like, oh, why can't you use it? Like, do they just say it's recommended not to use it, or do you like actually not use it? It causes deformities. So that was straight off the list right away. But then like I just started thinking about side effects because like Megan was talking about it in her video, and I just thought, so she's talking about bloating in her video. So one thing I have been lucky with is that I haven't been constipated yet. Now I don't know if that's maybe the way I eat, because I eat quite a high fibre diet. Like I've been eating fruit like there's a ration, you know, I'm eating it like there's no tomorrow. And I was wondering, maybe that's because I am what, 15 weeks and 3 days now? 1, 2, 3. And they say it starts, you know, second trimester, the constipation, but oh my god. My other thing is hiccups. Like I'm hiccuping constantly, especially when I eat. I'm just like indigestion-y, indigestion, and it's causing hiccups. But I haven't been constipated as of yet, which I'm not looking forward to, because I don't struggle with constipation. I'll be honest, I am someone that's like, I'm not a constipated person. However, I've had a few days I've been bloated, but it's not, I don't know what's causing it. It's maybe if I've eaten something and it's made me feel bloated, or because I still have no bump, right? I have nothing going on, and if I get bloated, like I was bloated in the gym the other day and I felt 9 months pregnant. Like my stomach was just humongous. Like, and I know before I go to the gym when I'm bloated, so I'm wearing like baggy t-shirts with shorts and I'm covering it and nobody knows, even though it's just bloated. Like it's literally not pregnancy, it's bloating, but I'm bloated because I'm pregnant, because I don't really struggle with bloating that much. You're like, yes, on and off, obviously I get bloated, but not to this level. Like this was like, but then it only lasts a couple of hours, and then by the time I eat my next meal, or I don't know, go to the toilet or something, it's back to normal. So my side effects have been bloatedness for the, I've maybe had it like 3 or 4 times now in the past 2 weeks where I'm just really bloated, but it's not constipated. Like I can still go to the toilet thankfully, because that's just not for me, that constipation life. And also, in reference to skincare, I can't remember if I spoke about this, but I had like, this camera's annoying me because the screen that I can see in is like flipped upside down. Basically, it's still there a wee bit, because I was talking about how you can't use retinol. I have so much sun cream on my face, I've went chalk white. But see, like round about here, it's much better now, like it's basically gone. But here, here, here and here, I had it at that side as well, but that side's all fine. It was all this side, like right at the start of pregnancy. It was actually one of the things that made me realise as well that this is not my period coming, like this is a bit odd, was the skin issues. And the skin issues were, it wasn't even spots, like they weren't like whiteheads and spots, it was like under the skin, red marks, and then especially like all around here, it was more so like a rash, and it was like dry, and it was really, really itchy, and like no matter how much like moisturizer you put on it, I would wake up the next day and it was all like peeling off. Did I talk about this the other day? I honestly can't remember if I did, but if I did, sorry. But like, I had such dry skin like on my forehead, it was like going into my hair and everything, and then this area was just so dry, and so it was just like rashy. And then I started looking into it, and I started thinking it was that, is it periorbital dermatitis or something, which also is what Megan just mentioned in her video as well. But then like, so Adam is very like clued up in dermatology and all these things, and he's like, I don't think that's what it is. I'm like, it is like that, there's nothing else it can possibly be. Like it was just so, it was rashy, that's the only word I can describe, because it was itchy and it was just like so dry and just so red. I'll see if I can insert pictures. I didn't even take photos. Excuse me. I didn't even take photos when it was at its worst. I was having just like a real identity crisis with this skin, because I've had such good skin for the past couple of years, and I like pride myself on my skincare journey, and then not skincare journey, my skincare routine, and then all of a sudden this was just like, so I was wearing makeup all the time because I also didn't want like family and friends to be like, it's happened to your skin, because people say stuff like that, and then they'd maybe start like guessing. So right now she's a couple of like wee red marks, so this is absolutely fine. I have no issue like not wearing makeup or anything like that now. But yeah, it was so obvious that there was something on my face. But according to old wives' tales, that means that you're having a girl, because they steal your beauty. Like I've heard that. I was like, that's why I'm ugly, it's stolen all my beauty. And we don't know what we're having yet still, that's still not till next week. But that was one of my other reasons. I was like, that's why it's a girl, because I have gotten so much ugly because my skin is just having a hard time. But other than that, these breakfasts are absolutely fab. That's all I can think of right now. Like, it's been hiccups, slight bloating but not constipation, bad skin, but it's fixed itself a bit now. I think that's it. You know, so Adam just texted me this morning. So basically, when I wake up first thing in the morning, see if I'm lying flat, there is like the tiniest bump underneath my belly button, right? But as in like from here, it's just like this tiny wee bump. It's only when I'm lying down flat. So he, like every morning, he's always like, let's see, and like feels to see what it's like. And then this morning it was really quite prominent. He was like, oh, it's happened. And then he just texts me there and he's like, let's see the belly, and I'm like, it's flat. Like I could literally take I could take like an ab picture right now. I was just getting rid of the evidence. But I can't remember if I spoke about this yet or not. I keep forgetting what I've said in the videos and what I've not said. But I had a 3-day long Krispy Kreme craving, to the point where I was making all kinds of other desserts in the house to try and like replicate it, and it just was not working. Like, I ate 4 cinnamon rolls the other day to try and like curb the donut craving, and it did not work. So basically there is a Krispy Kreme's relatively nearby us, but not close enough that I was willing to go to. So I ended up being in Morrison's yesterday, and you know some supermarkets have like a Krispy Kreme stand section, and they had the 3 vegan donuts that I love. So I got them last night. I ate 2. I had to give Adam one because come on, we're sharing. I had 2 of them last night, and I was like, this is just, the thing with donuts is, right, they don't last me more than 2 bites, because I was out in Edinburgh last week with my friend, well, my best friend actually, and we went to, I was like, I really need a cake of some kind, like let's get a donut. I went to Krispy Kreme and it was gone in like 2 bites, and she was just looking at me and she was like, you need to buy like a whole box of donuts, because that's done nothing for you. You'd literally swallowed the whole thing. So I got the, is it called like the fudge brownie? It's a fudge brownie one, there's chocolate sauce inside it, and then there's chocolate on top, then wee brownie bits. It was fab. It was excellent. But something that I have, like, I'm just like remembering things in this video, something that I have stocked up in my freezer, there's 8 of them now, are, wrong drawer, these ice cream cones. Any Cornetto style ice cream cone, it doesn't matter which brand, which one. These ones I get in, were these Morrison's or Aldi? No, Morrison's or Lidl. One of the two, but there's just like a vanilla ice cream on top, then the cone and all the chocolate in the middle. I'm having them just about every single night. Like, that's what I feel like my daytime cravings, like they started off, as you'll know in my last video that I explained to you, like they kind of started off chocolatey, then there were specific crisps that I wanted, then it was like bagels and just plain stuff. Very much now I'm back to eating normally, and like, in that I eat relatively healthy, like I'm eating so much fruit, but nighttime I'm like, I need myself an ice cream cone or a donut or something like that. So definitely like the dessert, the nighttime dessert, it's always been a thing. I've always been a dessert person, but I'd maybe have dessert like 2 or 3 times a week. Now it's every single night, and I love it. I love it. So I thought I'd update you on that, because the Krispy Kreme was just, do you know what it was? I was in Morrison's yesterday and I forgot, like they had the donuts, and it wasn't until I went like round and then I saw them and I literally went, oh, like out loud in the shop by myself, like some kind of food addicted. I don't know what was going on. I was just like, oh, and I was like scanning it, like where's the vegan, and they had them, and it was the best thing ever. Good morning! It is now Friday and I have just fake tanned, right? So this clip might look a bit on the dark side. I'm going to show you my belly, right? Because I'm actually just documenting this for me, right? I need to look back and know like what was going on, how I was feeling, blah 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 blah. So what the heck? I can't deal with this out of breathness. So pretty much, right, Adam and I, like I said, every morning he's like, so he obviously leaves the house for work. I don't, I work at home. He gets up at like 7 o'clock, he like whips the covers off. I sleep naked, right? Whips the covers off and he's like, let me see it. And he's like trying to see from the side if it's grown or anything like that. It's cute, it's actually really cute. But I'm like not a morning person, so I'm very much like, don't do it, don't touch me, it's freezing, put the covers back on. But I thought we would do a bit of a, we feel like 15.5 weeks. We have a bit of something. Still not a belly, right? But I can see where it's trying to be, okay? So I'm not gonna brag, I'm trying not to flash my boobs. So I can still kind of get away with like, this lighting is not good for this. We can pretend there's abs, right? Not even pretend, but there's a bit of something, This is where you can see my belly button down. Why is this light on? I was doing my makeup, that's probably too bright. Far too bright. You can see it's from like belly button down is where the difference is. So standing normally, like, oh my god, what is that supposed to be? It's not a belly, right? I just look like I've eaten. I look a bit full. But that is thicker from the side than I usually am, right? This makes me look like I've got no bum, no nothing. This is a shocking angle. But you know, I normally wear high-waisted clothes, so if I was wearing like high-waisted shorts or leggings, like, you just would not know, you know? You just wouldn't, you wouldn't think anything was going on whatsoever. However, when we're down at this level, again, like that's still, I mean, it's still flat, but you can see where it's trying to be. It's trying to be here. Measure me belly, can you spot please? Measure this massive belly.
Okay. What were you last time?
You check. God, I don't know. 75.
I think it was 75.
75, but when was that? What's the date?
Last Wednesday.
Okay. So let's see how much we've grown since we've approached 16 weeks in 1 day. Why do I look bigger, look?
But we've seen it's to the ranch. We went over your belly, didn't we? Or
Yeah,
up?
I guess we were on a
Right,
belly
yeah.
button like that, yeah.
Yeah, we used that as a shelf.
I hate my belly button being touched. I shrunk!
Yeah.
You sure? Hello?
Right there. That's there.
We shrunk a centimetre. How'd that work?
Well, maybe you grew down here. I don't know. Maybe it's sitting lower.
Maybe they've just moved. It's cuffing season. All the girls be
Stephanie, you don't even measure around. You measure down.
Then on you.
Not even.
So wait, the top of your bump to the bottom of your pubic bone. But where's the top of your bump? Probably the bottom of your ribcage?
So there's a picture.
Interesting. I'm a bit sick after that cookie.
I don't think we're.
Look, if I breathe right, oh my god, if I breathe right out, I can totally get away with being pregnant.
I don't think we're skilled enough to do this.
We don't think we're what?
Like I didn't know that was how you measured.
Oh.
I was just teaching it like a
But she went round the way.
like a body composition method.
Well, I mean, it's going to go that way anyway as well.
Yeah, this is true.
So, whilst it might not be the way the midwives do it, it's the way we can do it.
So that one's on
Belly button.
the nipple, and this one's just above it.
So I shrunk a centimetre. Interesting information. Happy Monday. Happy 16 weeks in one day. Good afternoon. This is my vlog for the next 2 weeks after the televisions, you know.
So your tears been running like a waterfall. Thought the stars would never let you down, and you keep on thinking you can save yourself, but that's love, that's just love.
Good morning. It is now Thursday the 16th of February, so the last clip you would have seen I think was Valentine's Day. We're getting our garage door changed if you hear noise, but tonight we find out the gender of the apparent human being that's living in my body. And I said I think this is going to make it more real because it's weird, like I go through, I'm saying good morning by the way, it's like 3 o'clock. We had a conversation the other day. We were in the car driving to the gym and Adam was like, isn't it just so weird that we were having a baby? And I was like, it doesn't feel real. Like there's moments where we're like talking about it and obviously we're aware it's happening, right? And we're very excited about it. But at the same time, I don't know, it's just, I don't think it's fully 100% clicked as to what's actually happening. I don't know, maybe it's just because, well, I think we're going to go to this scan tonight, obviously, which we're going to be able to see the baby, which even the last 2 scans I've had, I'm just like, you're showing me something on a screen, but I'm not entirely sure that that's in my body. You know, I don't know, it's just a weird, it's a weird thing. It's just a weird thing. So we have our scan at like 7 o'clock, so oh my god, it's only 4 hours. We have our scan, so we have our bets running. I think it's a girl, he thinks it's a boy. You guys unfortunately aren't going to find out because nobody's going to find out, like no parents, siblings, friends, nothing. It's just going to be Adam and I. We want to keep it to ourselves, just something for us, and then that way it's a surprise for everyone down the line. But yes, I'm waiting on him. Well, actually he won't be back from work for like 2 more hours. We're going to make lunch and then I will see you when we're on our way to our scan. Hopefully we can film a wee bit in here because we've not been able to film any scan stuff because it's NHS, but this one is private. I think the place we're going is called Window to the Womb and it's in Hamilton, I believe. That could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen, but I'm sure that's where we're going. There's also another one in Steps we were recommended, but that was fully booked, so this is the one that we're going to. I've looked them up on Instagram and all sorts, and I'm like, right, I hope this is the right place. Side note, so we are 16 weeks and 4 days today, right? And I've been totally fine lately, but today I just feel a bit on the nauseous side. My face is also really puffy. I've had to do gua sha this morning to try and fix this, but my nausea this morning was back, and I was like, whoa, what's happening here? So like before breakfast I was like, I really do not feel good. Had breakfast, felt fine. I've had a melon, been fine, and then it's been about an hour since I had the melon, and then I started feeling so ill again. So we've just had lunch, but I'm now, this is the thing, right? You get cravings for things, but they're so specific. So right now I'm like, I need something chocolatey, but I don't want a chocolate bar. Potentially some kind of biscuit, but I'm like, do I want an Oreo? Or is it more like a bourbon cream? Or like, I can't pinpoint exactly what it is we're after, so we might have an Oreo and see if that's it. Because I know that's not chocolate, but it's like, is it an Oreo? Let me think. Maybe I need to go and smell them. I think the Oreos are upstairs, but something that like a few of my friends have said to me, they're like, oh my god, do you think you're going to crave like meat or something like that? No, I do not think there's any chance of me craving something. I swear I saw the Oreos up here. Well, isn't it? I don't know. I don't think there's any chance of me craving any kind of animal product because A, I haven't eaten meat in, I don't know, 15 years. And B, I've never actually liked it, so I'm not vegan just for the sake of like the animals and the environment and all that kind of stuff. I genuinely don't like the taste of meat, so I don't see me craving anything like that. Like, actually, if anything, if I smell it now, I'm like, oh, it's even worse. So, what the heck's the Oreos? See if this man's eating them all. I swear. I swear. Oh my god, I'm so happy. He has. So we're having bourbons instead. Excited? Are you excited?
Am I excited? So
yes.
Yeah.
I've been doing this noise all day because I don't know what to do with myself. I'm just like, ah. We just established that this is probably like top 5, maybe even top 3 of like the most exciting days on this pregnancy journey. What's that on my belly button?
Top 3?
What? I said top 5, but maybe top.
So there's finding out you're pregnant. There's the first scan. There's giving birth.
Yeah.
There's
So
the weeks running up to it.
So top 5.
There's the shopping. There's the.
Nah, but I'd say it's top 5.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you.
And what's your bet?
A boy.
And I'm going to bet it's 0.
100% boy.
100%. But unfortunately, you won't find out until, well, like July or August. Don't know. Somewhere about then.
I can guarantee it's a boy.
I can guarantee it's not. My pink clip and everything.
It's so cute. It's so cute when you think that.
No, it's not cute. It's cute that you think it.
This is 48-minute journey. Got some soaking.
Come on.
Got a wet elbow.
You fell.
I never.
Yeah, you did fall.
No.
Okay, you didn't fall.
No, I found the shortcut.
Alright.
I was skidding.
And you snapped the brolly in half.
No, I never snapped the brolly, the wind did.
It's completely snapped. So this is where we are, long story short. It's officially week 17 today, and we thought we'll come to the Campsies, which is a lovely hilly area in Scotland, but
Partly the only place with hills as well.
yeah, no, I don't know anybody else. That's where we just
Outside
came.
our window.
So, but you know, the weather was not permitting. So I don't know. We're gonna have to look at these photos. I think there's one or two that did 100% be used, so it's fine. But I mean, next time I'm taking a mirror selfie because this is just. Is he stopping? What's he doing? What's he? What the hell? I can't feel my lips. Are you still downloading Tinder when you get home?
I'm downloading it twice.
bloody, if who's interested, Adam's downloading Tinder, he's now an available man.
Yep.
I'm a single mum. That's the way it's going to be. Just because we got our feet wet. That was tragic, but that was tragic. I actually have a video clip on my phone, I'm going to have to show you how bad that was.